My name is Brian Howard, and I'm the chairperson of the Meigs County Prevention Coalition. I'm here with Reggie Robinson today, and we're excited to tell you about the Meigs County Coalition. And we'd like Reggie to start and talk about the community context.
Meigs County is located in the southeast region of Ohio and features 433 square miles of green rolling hills and rugged terrain interspersed with populated areas of great spirit and strong need. It's home to welcoming communities, schools, and businesses, and several outdoor recreation opportunities. The region is also characterized by a challenged economy, high rates of poverty, chronic illness and mortality, high rates of substance abuse, and a need for greater priority on health and prosperity by residents. Brian, would you talk more about the lead agency?
The Gallia-Jackson Meigs Board of Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health and the executive committee of the coalition serve as the conveners for the Meigs County Prevention Coalition. This group leads the membership in addressing the prevention needs of the county, including the opioid epidemic, as well as tobacco and other drugs and suicide prevention. The main responsibilities are to plan the meeting schedules and agendas, lead the strategic planning efforts of the group, and organize community events. Now, Reggie's going to talk about the coalition membership.
Thanks again, Brian. I've been a part of the coalition ever since the beginning, and the leadership of the coalition has, over time, made sure that the coalition is a broad representation of the community and that all the key players are at the table. Members that have been recruited are professionals who work in the industry, residents who represent themselves or various constituencies, and individuals who both live and work in Meigs County. The coalition membership has representation of all of CADCA's 12 community sectors. Brian, would you now talk a little bit more about the coalition operation and processes?
Participating in the coalition has many benefits for the participating members and for the organizations that they represent. The coalition brings people and organizations together to focus on solving common problems that face our community. It also assists organizations to achieve their missions by forming new partnerships and by leveraging new or additional resources by securing support, volunteers, and funding. We have a great coalition that's led by some great people. So Reggie's going to talk a little bit more about our leadership.
With guidance and assistance from our convener, that's the Gallia-Jackson Meigs Board of Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services, the Meigs County Prevention Coalition is led by a volunteer executive committee. The committee is comprised of a chairperson, vice chairperson, and a secretary. All members share responsibilities to achieve the goals that are set forth by the coalition. Ideas are brought to the coalition, and members with a matching skill set and passion are tasked with bringing the plans to fruition. And we've worked a lot on our structure, and I think Brian's going to talk more about that.
Yes, the executive committee is in place to oversee the actions and directions of the coalition and to make sure that they're in line with the vision and mission statement as set by the membership. The coalition has established bylaws and is guided by the executive committee. And again, the committee is comprised of the president, vice president, secretary, and also a staff member from the local Gallia-Jackson Meigs Adams board. One great thing about a coalition is all the pooled resources that are available to us all. And Reggie's going to talk a little bit more about that.
Absolutely, Brian. Pooling resources is one of the main reasons for starting and sustaining a successful coalition. In a coalition, organizations and people accomplish together what they cannot do alone. The coalition leverages the talent, finances, access to data, and access to training and other offerings of the membership to achieve its goals, mission, and vision. And it's also important to engage our membership. Brian?
Many organizations work within the communities in various avenues. By participating in the coalition, the resident can be the benefactor of varying programs to meet their needs. The coalition members can better understand these needs as they participate and hear from other organizations. We do a lot of planning through the coalition for the community, and Reggie's going to talk about that process.
Assessment and planning are certainly very, very important to the ultimate success of our coalition. The coalition and the goals that are set are driven by data. This data is gathered and presented by member organizations. Most of the data we utilize comes from the Meigs County Health Department. The coalition will soon be completing CADCA's coalition skills and processes for SAMHSA's strategic prevention framework. Following this best practice will allow us to better plan, track, and assess our progress as a cohesive unit. Cohesion is important, so is synergy. Brian, would you talk more about that?
Synergy does occur through the combination of those things we just mentioned: pooled resources, member engagement, and assessment and planning. Reggie's going to talk about the implementation of the strategies that we've come up with as a coalition.
And I'm always excited to talk about this. Our coalition will always use strategies that are evidence-based best practices. So this coalition will complete the Strategic Prevention Framework, or as we affectionately call it, the SPF, and will prioritize strategies and action plans, obtain the resources for the plans, implement the action plans, and assure implementation fidelity. All this is done in search of outcomes. Again, we use evidence-based best practices. And so we're looking for community change outcomes. Brian?
In accordance with the coalition's mission statement, the strategies and outcomes for the community will be educating Meigs Countyans in drug abuse prevention and providing support for related issues, advocating for resources for community engagement and empowerment, and raising awareness of the issues surrounding addiction, and also reducing the stigma associated with mental health issues. Along with those community changes, we're also looking for health and social outcomes. Reggie?
Thank you, Brian. Change at the population level is hugely important. And so that's among our coalition's many goals. Our coalition will seek to impact positive outcomes and changes by providing resources and education that include increased drug, alcohol, tobacco, and suicide screenings, increased referrals to mental health services, and transportation to medical appointments, which has been a traditional barrier in our region. We're all about increasing our community's capacity. Brian, would you take that next portion?
Our coalition has provided an opportunity for organizations to come together to offer solutions to the needs of the community without the duplication of services. Several local organizations are working to provide services and programming in our local schools, and we are better serving our youth and our community by working together. We are very excited to present this to you and to give you an introduction to the Meigs County Prevention Coalition. So make sure you please come and join us the last Wednesday of every month. Or you can look for some more information at themeigsprevention.com, or you can find us on Facebook. Thank you very much.